What is up, Cowboys Nation? You know, Mike Tag, Kelly K9, we are here. You seen me do the mock draft. Some of you guys dug it. Some of you guys said, "Hey, Mike Tag, are you looking to try and get these Cowboys back on top, or you want us to stay in last place? What are you doing?" So I said, we're going to get some reinforcement. We're going to get my man Kelly K9, get his opinion, right, Kelly? I want to hear what you got to say. You got some.
Yeah. Give me
Players you're looking at. So what are you thinking overall? Looking at this team, what are you going to be focusing in on this draft? Because I think it's one of the most important drafts for this team because they've got to get impact players. What do you think?
So for me, I'm focusing in on the offense. I mean, because I just feel like that was the biggest areas of need. I felt like the defense is a little bit more ready, and in terms of what we need on defense, I think that whether that be re-signing Osa and adding maybe another piece across that defensive line, I think that's things that you want to do, or at least I would like to see them do in free agency. Go out and get a proven veteran, a guy that fits the system, something that you don't have to kind of bet on, just because I feel like that a lot of the rookies that you get along the offensive side, whether it be receiver, running back, a lot of these guys, college is starting to run kind of a pro style offenses. So a lot of these guys, whether it be quarterbacks, you're seeing them have instant success now more than ever, in my opinion. And you're seeing running backs and wide receivers come in and be able to pick up the offense a whole lot easier. So I think that you can find impact players that can contribute immediately on the offensive side easier than you can on the defensive side. Now, that's not to say I would neglect the defense. If there's a player that comes across that's too good to pass on, then obviously I'm all for, going defense. And obviously in any draft, you're not going to go all offense, but primarily the early rounds would be focused on offense, ideally, just depending on kind of the way the board would fall.
Yeah, and we got to see how the board falls, and make sure you guys hit that like, hit the subscribe, and if you're with Cowboys Nation, of course you want to share it, but we appreciate all the support, man. We're growing and growing. We do live interviews. We got live shows. We interview former players of the Cowboys, legends of the game. So if you guys are new to us, go check out the playlist and you'll see all those interviews we're doing, and we're amping those up again in the offseason. We're going to get this thing right. So let's, without any further ado, because I know people are loving this draft and they know it's so important for the Cowboys. Let's look at it. Now, Kelly, our Cowboys are picking 12. What we're going to do is we're not going to do any trades. We're going to go straight up, and we're going to do a show after the Senior Bowl with this weekend and the Shrine Bowl and all that kind of stuff. We're going to do one where we'll do some trades. We're going to get some interactive with a lot of you guys and subscribers being part of the draft. So, but for now, we're going straight up, 7-round draft. We got the Cowboys picking 12. We set the parameters the way I think we like it. Just take a little bit off of the public. Go ahead and maybe off draft needs so we can get BPA, because we feel maybe Jerry is going to spend some money. I'm only kidding. We know he's not going to, but let's get into this draft and let's start it up, man. So Kelly, my man Cam Ward, we always got to start with who went. Cam Ward from the U goes number 1 overall to Tennessee. Shedeur he went number 2. And Travis Hunter 3 to the Giants. So I'm kind of happy because I don't want to see Cam Ward in a Giants uniform. And this draft is interesting, Kelly, because when I did it, Sean Genti, he was in my spot. So I had no choice but to take him. He's been taken by the Bears, number 10. Yeah. So now, where are you thinking of? What are you thinking about going? What do you think?
This for me, this is kind of an easy pick because I've talked about it. We talked about it in the show the other day. We talked about the fact that I think that if you want an impact player on offense, I think that you would go wide receiver. Now, there are some interesting choices here because there are 2 tackles on the board, and both of those guys I think will be guys that will come in and be day one starters that you can just plug and play. We have a tackle issue with Terrence Steele, and depending on what people think about Guyton, I don't think the Cowboys have given up on Guyton. I think they'll still continue to develop him, but it's tempting because both tackle spots right now leave a little bit to be desired for the Cowboys. But I think that's what the Cowboys front office would think looking at this. However, you've got, Emeka Egbuka, I think is how you say that name, and then Luther Burden, the two wide receivers that have kind of been getting bantered about for the Cowboys. Me personally, if I have the chance to choose between the two of them, I'm taking Burden. I think that Emeka may be the better route runner, and he kind of runs a lot out of that slot position, but I think you can move him inside out. But Burden, he's got the speed, got the catch radius, a lot of things that you like for a wide receiver to be a guy that you could put right next to CeeDee Lamb and be a day one number 2 coming in, pairing him up with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, giving him another target and a weapon. He's my pick. I've had several mock drafts where if Genty's not there, sometimes for me it's very hard to pass on Genty. One, because I feel like that they give you a shit grade if you don't, because they're mad at you. They're like, Genty was there, but for here, this is pretty easy for me.
You're going Burden, or are we locking and loading this pick?
Lock and load with Burden. Yeah, he's my guy.
All right, man. So we're going receiver. I like that. I said, man, I think the running backs are deep. You can't pass up on Genty if he's there. I can't see anything, so I had to put my glasses on. So that way I could help my man Kelly out. So now we're in the second round. Is there a position you want to focus on, or you want to kind of scroll through?
So right here, I'm kind of looking at a couple of things just early. Obviously we have a need. Some of the needs it's saying is running back. Obviously, we just addressed wide receiver. It's got tackle and it's got edge. One of the things that it doesn't say that we need, though, is a linebacker. And I don't necessarily agree with that, just because of the fact that I know we have Overshown, but he's more than likely not playing all of next year. So you're rolling into next year with an undermanned linebacker core. I'm not sure. Is Kendrick signed through last year? Did he have a 1-year deal, or was his?
I think he had a 2-year, but he might have a 1 year.
Okay,
we're the kings of 1 year, so I'm going to say 1 year to be safe.
Let's just say for the sake of saying, let's say he's going to be there. Let's say he'll be there. And then you've got another rookie in Leafau. And then who was our other guy that was starting when?
Clark. Damone Clark was there.
Damone Clark. You've got Damone Clark. He's still there. I actually in this position, I actually like that. I like that linebacker out of Alabama. I also, you look at running back, you've got Cam Scattaboo there. A lot of people are really hot on him. Me personally, I'm not. I feel like a lot of people kind of fell in love with that guy a little early because of the performance that he had against Texas, and I get it. That was a big performance in a big time game. I'm not ready to go in that direction at this point right now. So for number 2 right here, I think I would probably, Xavier Watts is another interesting prospect too. You got a safety out there, a young safety that I think would probably be able to come in here and man that position, and play, even if he wasn't a day one guy, a guy that could maybe come in. And I think if you draft this guy, though, you're drafting him to start, to be your eventual starter.
Absolutely. We need 3 starters out of this draft.
And if you think about it, and I know we've got Donovan Wilson, but you think about the Cowboys, when's the last time that they've actually addressed the safety position? Honestly, since Darren Woodson, they've kind of been shuffling guys in and out of there. So
Roy Williams. Roy Williams is probably the last guy they drafted.
Exactly. So I know that I had mentioned, talking about going heavy on the offense early, but right here, I got 2 really good defensive players that I just feel like could bring something, to the table for this Cowboys defense and Eberflus to work with. I'm going to go Campbell, and I'm going to go Campbell because of the fact that Eberflus was the linebacker coach for the Dallas Cowboys. That is kind of his thing. Where he's been, he's really elevated the linebacker position and linebackers that have played. And I think he could do great in this guy's development, bringing him along very quickly to be an impact starter. You've got him out there manning things down. And then, if Kendricks is not here, or if he is on a 2-year deal and this is his last year, you can kind of rotate him out with Leafau. I'm taking Campbell.
Campbell. We got to stop the run.
Stop the run. And what better way to stop the run is if you've got good linebackers. You never have too many good linebackers on your team.
I agree 100%. Now we're getting in that territory. We got to remember we don't have 4th-round picks, so this is where you
now I will say this for the people that and I'm not going to do this because in this draft I'd like to just go through it without any trades. I will preface this by saying the Cowboys do have I think 3 5th-round picks, or is it 4?
Yeah.
3.
They got 170, 172, 175.
Yeah, okay. So 3 5th-round picks. The Dallas Cowboys can absolutely, if they wanted to, pair maybe 1 or 2 of those 5th-round picks to trade back up into the 4th round. So that is a possibility. Obviously, we're not doing that today. But got a quarterback on the board, guy that I talked about last night, and Dylan Gabriel, who I think is a very intriguing prospect that, I think the Cowboys should draft a quarterback, and I think I wouldn't mind seeing them do it in the first 5 rounds because, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what the hell is he going to contribute this year? But, you have a guy like that. You let him sit back there for the next 2 years behind Dak Prescott. You give him the Jordan Love treatment. He's intriguing. Then you've got the running back, Trayvon Henderson from Ohio State. Got a tight end and Elijah Arroyo. I don't know much about him.
He is bad. He's a bad man. He's killing it in the Senior Bowl. He's obviously from the U. He's big, athletic. I took him in my mock draft. He fell to the 5th. There's no way he's going to the 5th. And I told people, I was like, if he's falling to the 5th, I'm taking him no matter what. But obviously, I wouldn't take him here because it's not a huge need for the Cowboys in the 3rd round, like we talked about. We got to find some starters. We got to find some impact guys that can contribute. So.
Yeah, I think right here, this is the position that I would probably want to go running back, and I would probably go. Let's look at the running backs that are actually on the board. I know we got Trayvon Henderson, we got Devin Neal right here, Kinshawn Judkins, R.J. Harvey. So I would probably have to go. And there's my boy Taj Brooks. Way too early for him, unfortunately, right now. But I'd say out of these running backs right here, it'd probably be between Trayvon and Devin Neal. But I would say, for the sake of it, just because I think that I've watched Devin Neal, and it's not that I think he's bad running back. I think Henderson would give you the best shot to be a starter, a guy that you could lean on early and come in and be your starting running back. Or at least
he doesn't. He splits, so he doesn't have that heavy.
Doesn't have a heavy workload. Doesn't have a lot of carries. Doesn't have a big workload on him. It wasn't the primary back, so you're getting a guy that's hasn't been used and abused in college like some of these running backs that have gotten a shit ton of carries. So I'd go Henderson here. Get ourselves a running back. Don't want to wait too long. And
you don't want to take no chance because I don't trust.
And here's what I said last night. I talked about the fact you could double dip running back in this draft. I think I will. I don't know if the Cowboys will. I like the idea of it. So I would probably do that here. Now here's the deal here we got on the board. Now you got Quinn Ewers. A lot of Texas fans were out on him, dogging him, saying that they did not like him. Don't think he's going to be a starter in the NFL. I would have to agree. I'm not drafting Quinn Ewers here. I'm not even a little bit worried about here. Okay, right here. I will tell you where I'm taking right here. I'm drafting Jalen Conyers from Texas Tech. This guy right here. Pull up his numbers right here. Just pull them up. I'll wait for this to load. Do they have anything on him right there?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Okay. All right. So, let's look. This guy right here is, look at that, 6'4", 265. He is a very large tight end. He's a red zone threat for Texas Tech. Not just saying this as a homer. He is good. They did not utilize him as much as I thought that they should, but when they did, this guy was effective in the pass game. He is a big target. He's hard to miss at 6'4", and he's also powerful. He's got a nose for the end zone. I think that the Cowboys need a tight end. I know that there's a lot of people that may say, no, we got Ferguson, we got Schoonmaker. Listen, I'm not sold on Ferguson at this point right now. I thought that I was, but I think that Ferguson at this point right now, I just think that we could use a tight end to push him. And at this
point, you're going to take him over an edge rusher. I'm just asking, and you make the pick.
Like I told you, I'm I'm giving Dak Prescott significant weapons. I'm giving him
no excuses for him.
And I think Jalen Conyers, I think, is going to give somebody a very good weapon offensively. And why not the Dallas Cowboys? So I would feel comfortable drafting him in this position. So I'm gonna take a tight end right here.
Yeah, well, this is your world. I'm just living in it. So we are doing it.
And
so
I'm sure I might get killed for that. But for those of you that are watching this, listen, before you kill me, go watch the tape on Conyers. I promise you. I'm not just saying this because I want to have a Texas Tech guy. I think this guy is really going to surprise some people coming out of this draft. All right, who do we got here?
We got our second 5th round pick.
Okay, all right. We got a DB. We still got.
Is there a position you want to look at? We've got.
Well, I would
defensive tackle, wide receiver again, another defensive. You got a couple defensive tackles in that.
I might actually go down here. Let's see. There's a guard there. There's a safety. I might actually go defense here, and I think I might draft this Jalen Smith, the DB from USC, and I say that because of the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty around Trayvon Diggs. Multiple injuries now. I think that I know what we have in Deron Bland. I think that I'd love to see Jordan Lewis back here running this thing back. I think we've got a few guys back there in that secondary that have shown some flashes, but again, kind of the same thing with linebackers. I don't think you can have enough depth at that cornerback position. We kind of saw that this year where we got down a few guys, and then the injuries start piling up, and then you've got guys you've never even heard of playing. So I think I would go kind of help the defense out here, draft a DB, Jalen Smith out of USC.
SoCal is going to be very happy with that. Very happy.
Well, we got to throw in a Trojan, get some things going there. Now we got yours. So let's scroll that down just a little bit more.
We can look by position if you want to get focused more on a position if there's something.
Well, I would,
You got a lot of defensive tackles. You got another linebacker, obviously.
A lot of defensive tackles in here.
Losing and not many edge rushers. We lost the battle on that. You better hope Jerry spends some money on some free agents if you want an edge rusher.
Well, yeah, that's true. And like I said, that's kind of the position that, in terms of the draft, that's kind of the position where I'm feeling like I would like to see the Cowboys address that in free agency and really go hit the trenches on the defensive side of the ball, whether that be an edge rusher or a defensive lineman, via free agency. Just because I just feel like it's pretty hard for these defensive tackles and these defensive linemen. I mean, look at how many guys that have come out and really struggled. I mean, even Jalen Carter, to an extent, in his first year, had some growing pains. And I mean, he was the first defensive tackle off the board in that draft, I believe. He was the first guy off the board, and then
it took him a little bit.
It took him a little bit. I mean, he came around, but and that's not to say that you couldn't get him, but I scroll this back to I hit the let's see.
What position you thinking?
Hit wide receiver right quick. Let me take a look at this wide receiver position right quick. So that's a guy right there. I think that
Felton.
you know what? Yeah, but we got 172, 175, and 188. So I think I could get Felton a little bit later. But I do like him as a wide receiver. I've seen some.
Cameo Brown's been cooking Sanders' kid in the senior.
Yeah, I've been seeing that. Old Shiloh's been struggling a little bit. He's on the struggle bus. Yeah, I don't know that I want to take that. I don't think I want to take him right now just because 172, 170. So let's scroll back down just a little bit more. You know what? I actually might go here and draft this guard. scroll back up a little bit right here. We got a guard from LSU, this Mike Frazier.
You got the guard and the center, and you got Jake.
You got a guard and a center. I think that I would actually take the guard right here.
Right.
Reason being, we're I'm not sure that this guy would be ready to start immediately. But if Zach Martin, and he has not come out and said that he's going to retire yet, but you got to think that his time is coming, right? Maybe he wants to run this thing back, do one more year. He had some injury concerns this year. I think you got to, also, again, it just offensive line. I feel like almost all these positions, it's just you got to have depth. You got to have depth across the board, really. I mean, there's really not any position besides maybe a quarterback that you don't want to be stacked up on, really, in all positions, ideally. So offensive line would be one of those. I'd draft him right here. Kind of thought about the center right there, but in my opinion, I kind of feel like we already have two centers when it comes to Hoffman and Beebe. You've got either one of those guys that you can switch out and play center and do so pretty effectively. That guard position, I'm a little bit more concerned about, just because of the Zach Martin and how much longer is he going to be around. So yeah. I think I would draft that guy right there, LSU.
Miles Frazier, good. His PFF grade's very good on pass protection, not that great on run blocking. That would be an area that he'd have to grow and concern. But
hopefully we get the right offensive line coach in.
He's a big man.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. All right, so now we're sitting at this 175. I think right here might be where I'd go ahead and I would take. I'd go ahead and I would draft that wide receiver that I was looking at, the kid from Maryland. Yeah, I'd go ahead and grab another wide receiver right here, Ty Felton.
Yeah,
wide receiver.
96 catches, over 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Obviously played in a good conference, played against some competition. So definitely he's got some skills. And not a bad selection, because I had him in mind, because like I said, I don't have a lot of faith in any of our receivers outside CeeDee Lamb.
I really don't either. It's CeeDee Lamb, and then it's kind of like, well, who do you got? Who do you really want to see, playing out there? So, all
right, now we're getting to the 6th round. We got 2 picks left.
We got the 6th round here. I think right here, I'll just I would maybe throw out okay, we got 2 picks left. 2 picks left. Let's see. Who do we got?
I think we got 2, right? Yeah.
You know what? I actually Yeah, we got 2 picks left. So I'm going to say on this one, scroll down just a little bit more here. Is that a safety? Got an edge rusher.
You got a defensive tackle. You got another linebacker. You got an edge.
You know what? I'd go ahead and say that.
Want to go running back again?
I kind of thought about it. I'm kind of thinking about that running back from Arkansas right there.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah. Let's pull him up right quick. What's he?
I got 5.4 yards. Yeah, he's a 6'2", 233. He's a big dude.
Big guy right there.
Smaller guy, and then you get the bigger guy if you wanted to. You get the
I've talked about doing the double dip at wide receiver, which we did. I think
Jackson Dart seems to be a hot name.
I don't think he's going to go as low as he is, but
I don't think so either.
I'll give you a spoiler right quick. If he's there at 211, I'm going to put him on our draft board at 211. I'm going to go ahead and take the running back right now, though. I'm going to take him off the board there. Jackson. I'm going to draft him. Arkansas SEC guy. Got some strength. Got some big size there to him. Hopefully, like a goal line guy. We can get a speed guy, and then we've got a goal line guy. Now here, I'm going to go Jackson Dart. I've said before, I thought we should draft the QB. I do not think he's going that slow.
I don't think so either.
I've been hearing some good things about him. I've been hearing buzz about him. I think that kid probably goes 4th, maybe 5th.
After the bowls, a lot of this is going to change. So let's see what our man Kelly got A+ for wide receiver, B for the linebacker, B+ at running back. They weren't crazy about the tight end.
They didn't like my tight end position. They didn't like my tight end.
So
they don't like my guard. They got C+ there. Hey, C's a passing grade though, man.
It is.
I'm a C+ on. I'll be happy.
A, B, C. You're in the top 3. What do you want? So, but They like the receiver. They like the receiver. You did double dip on the receiver, double dip on the running back. They like that. Getting, Jackson Dart, we don't think he'll be there at that point, but hey, we can only do what the draft allows us. So I'm digging this draft. I don't know what you guys think about it. If I'm going to give maybe my critique or just a concern I would have would be not addressing the defensive tackle and the edge rusher. But it's like you say, it's time for Jerry and Steven to put their money where their mouth is and go out. Those are positions you get with veteran free agents. You go get those guys, and we've got some young guys coming back. So I'm okay if they don't address it as long as they do it in free agency.
And so by the time the draft comes around, we're going to have an idea of what they've done in free agency and who they've got, because we got free agency first and then we've got the draft. So I'm basing this draft with the thought that the Cowboys actually do what they said they were going to do, and they get a little bit aggressive in this free agency, and they bring in some guys. They bring in a defensive tackle and hopefully maybe even a pass rusher to bolster that defensive line, and then you can kind of go and you can build with some rookies, some of the guys that that we got in there, a young DB, and then a linebacker in the second round to kind of bolster that linebacker position. So hopefully we'll see what they do. I think that the Cowboys should. I mean, if they're going to be aggressive in free agency, and that is a big if. But if they're going to be aggressive in free agency, it allows you to work your draft board without having to reach for anybody. And to be able to do things like possibly double dip at that wide receiver position, double dip at that running back position. And so where you've got kind of an insurance policy for yourself there, you can say, hey, I've got this guy here, but maybe the guy that I drafted later, maybe he ends up being the guy. And you never know with the draft. And
you're not putting the pressure on him. So that's what we love. Guys, this is Kelly K9's mock draft. If you love it, leave a comment. Let us know what your opinion is. Who do you think you should he have taken someone instead of someone in certain spots? That's what we want to hear. So be interactive. More importantly, hit that thumbs up. We want to hear from you. We're going to do another draft after the Senior Bowl, after the East-West Shrine game, and we're going to bring in you guys. So you guys know where to find Kelly K9 on Twitter. You know where to find Mike Tag on Twitter. If you guys want to participate and take one of those picks, just send us a message. Say, hey, I'm in, and we'll make it happen. We'll figure a time and you guys can come in. So that's it, man. We just wanted to do a quick mock draft. Get your opinion. It's always fun. It stirs up some conversation. But like Kelly said, man, if Jerry and Steven ain't getting them alligator arms in them pockets, none of this shit's going to matter, because this draft that Kelly did, A-, but it is on getting some luxury, and they got to bring in some toys for this team to be able in this offensive defense to work with. So I'm good. Kelly, give us your final thoughts on the draft, and we'll get out everyone's hair, man.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, what's that phrase? You gotta spend money to make money. So I mean, we ain't making no money if we ain't spending no money. So Jerry, please, this is the cry from Cowboys Nation and from me. Your son that cusses you out a lot because just really disappointed me is the father that I hoped for of this Cowboys franchise. Please spend some damn money. Please, for the love of God, spend some money. Put some talent on this team. Don't have Schottenheimer out here. Don't leave him out to dry, man. He's been in the league for a long time. He's paid his dues. His dad was one of the all-timers. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach. Don't leave this man out and don't do him dirty. If you really respect this man like you say you do, you know what? Put some financial backing in this man. Give this man some weapons. Give him some ingredients to cook with. Don't be giving him spam and expecting a 5-star meal and then act like that you had no hand in the way that this dinner came out, because everybody looking at you like, what the hell you serve Vienna sausages for? You said this is a 5-star restaurant. Help this man out. I'm begging you, Jerry. Don't let this man fail. Give him the tools to succeed. And let's get out here and make 2025 a way better season than 2024. Put 2024 in the rear view.
Yeah, look past. All right, appreciate Cowboys Nation. Hit that subscribe, like, share. Hopefully see you at a live show. Take care, man. Peace.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.